Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. A lot of good college action on the board today. We've had a college football the last few days. It's been awesome, and we've been getting some monster hits this week. So yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. If you guys aren't already in there, go ahead and hop in my premium Discord. I mean, we're on a heater this week. We hit a bunch of stuff yesterday. We've been hitting every day. It's been awesome. I'd love to have you guys in there. And we'll hop in it. Great matchups on the board today. Starting with Kentucky versus Louisville. Louisville opening up as a 7.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 49.5. Kentucky coming into this matchup 6-5. Louisville 10-1. Head-to-head, Kentucky is 3-0 head-to-head. Kentucky on a 2-game losing streak, coming off a South Carolina loss. Just a disappointing loss for Kentucky. Louisville on a 4-game winning streak. I mean, they're 10-1. Their only loss was to Pitt, which that was just a bad loss on their part. But they're coming off a big Miami win. You know, Kentucky, they've been very good against Louisville, but in Louisville's favor, Louisville hasn't been this good. They have not been this good in a long time. They're 11-0 at home, 11-1 in their last 12, 4-2 covering the spread. Yeah, it's usually Kentucky's the better of the two teams pretty much every year. Things have flipped. Louisville is very good this year. Defense is good. The offense is very good. And yeah, Kentucky coming off a South Carolina loss. I'm going to buy a point. Give me Louisville minus 6.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Ohio State versus Michigan. Michigan opening up, this is the monster game of the day, everybody. Michigan opening up as a 3.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 46.5. Ohio State both teams coming into this matchup 11-0. This was the marquee matchup we've been waiting for all year. Ohio State 8-2 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. They've been very good head-to-head. The over's 9-1 in the last 10 matchups. Yeah, going to be a great game here. Ohio State, battle of the undefeateds. Ohio State coming off a Minnesota win. Back-to-back 37-38 to 3 wins here. Michigan coming off a tough, a close Maryland game. And this is going to be a defensive battle. We all know that. The numbers are going to be great for both teams here. But Ohio State, 3-6 covering against Michigan. Yeah, look, they're 15-3 against Michigan. They've been very good against Michigan, but these last few years, that's where those losses have come in play. Michigan 20-0 at home, 20-0 against the Big Ten here. I mean, this is it. Whoever wins this is going to the playoffs, pretty much, I would imagine, and can win the conference. I mean, this is huge here. And depends what side you want to go on. We're looking at a 3.5 point line. You can make the case for either. They're both 11-0. You can't really go wrong with whatever pick you take because you're taking an elite team on either side here. Going into this, I've already had my mindset on who I want to win, and I like Michigan. I've been rooting for Michigan all year. Kind of been seeing Ohio State dominate every year and go far. I think it's Michigan's turn with this team they have assembled and all the stuff going on, in the locker room and the coaching and stuff. I'm going to buy a point. Give me Michigan minus 2.5 and money line at home in a tough one. Next matchup, we got Texas A&M versus LSU. LSU opening up as a 12.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 66.5. A&M coming into this matchup 7-4. LSU 8-3. Head-to-head, LSU 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. A&M going to be starting different quarterbacks, starting Jalen Henderson. Their quarterback situation has been horrible all year. A&M coming off an Abilene Christian win. LSU coming off a Georgia State win. This LSU team puts up points. Coming off back-to-back 50-plus point games. I mean, their last 7-8 games, they're putting up around 50-plus points, which is a lot of points. I just don't know if A&M's going to be able to keep up. They're 0-5 covering on the road against LSU. 0-9 on the road. They can't win on the road. 1-11 covering against LSU here. Yeah, and I think I'm going to take LSU minus 12.5 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got Alabama versus Auburn. Bama opening as a 13-point road favorite with the over-under at 47.5. Bama coming into this matchup 10-1. Auburn 6-5. Head-to-head Bama 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Bama coming off a 66-10 win against Chattanooga. Auburn coming off a 31-10 loss against New Mexico State. They're coming off a game where they paid a team there's like $1.8 million or whatever to come play them, and they beat them. Horrible look for Auburn. Bama 4-1 against Auburn, 5-0 on the road, 7-1 covering the spread here. I still feel like, I know it's a rivalry game. You never know. We've seen those crazy finishes Auburn's had against Bama. Don't think it's going to happen this year. Give me Bama minus 13 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got Arizona versus Arizona State. Arizona opening up as a 12.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 49.5. Arizona coming into this matchup 8-3. Arizona State 3-8. Head-to-head, Arizona State 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. But I'll tell you what, this is a much different Arizona team here. I mean, they're good. They've beaten Oregon State, UCLA, Utah, dominating Utah last game. They're on a 5-game winning streak. I mean, they're hot. I mean, they lost to USC by 2, but they really should have won that. Lost by 7 to Washington. Oh, man, if they beat Washington and USC, you're looking at them competing for the playoffs here. I mean, this Arizona team is phenomenal. And then Arizona State coming off getting murdered by Oregon last game. Lost by Utah. I lost 55-3 to Utah. This is a very bad Arizona State team here. Arizona's hot. I mean, they're one of the hottest teams in college football right now. The run they're on, the teams they've beat. Yeah, give me Arizona minus 12.5 at buddy line on the road. Next matchup, we got BYU versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State opening up as a 16.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 56. BYU coming into this matchup 5-6. Oklahoma State 8-3. Head-to-head, these teams have not played each other before. BYU, they're on a 4-game losing streak, coming off an Oklahoma loss. Oklahoma State coming off a big Houston win, 43-30. BYU is just 1-6 against the Big 12, 1-4 covering on the road here. Oklahoma State 18-2 at home, where they've been dominant here. And I feel like they should dominate this BYU team. They're struggling. They had a good Oklahoma game, but the 3 games prior, they put up 13, 7, and 6 points. I think it's going to be tough for them. Give me Oklahoma State minus 16.5 on money line at home. Next matchup, we got James Madison versus Coastal Carolina. James Madison opening up as a 7.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 49.5. James Madison coming into this matchup 10-1. Coastal Carolina 7-4. Head-to-head, James Madison's 1-0 in their only head-to-head meeting. Beat them 47-7. James Madison coming off that Appalachian State loss. Tough loss last week. Ruining their undefeated season. Coastal Carolina coming off a bad Army loss, 28-21. James Madison, 9-1 against the Sun Belt, 6-0 on the road. They've been very good on the road here. Coastal Carolina, 5-0 covering against the Sun Belt, 6-1 at home. Both teams playing good here. I think I'm going to give the edge to James Madison. Coming off a tough loss, I think they bounce back. Going to buy a point. Give me James Madison minus 6.5 and money line on the road. All right, next matchup, we got Liberty versus UTEP. Liberty opening up as a 17-point road favorite with the over-under at 55.5. Liberty coming into this matchup 11-0. UTEP 3-8. These teams have not played each other head-to-head here. I mean, Liberty, undefeated, coming off a big UMass win. I mean, they've been dominant all year, and have been a great story, too. Undefeated, playing good football. UTEP, very bad, coming on a 2-game losing streak. Just the 3 wins so far, so a big bad season for UTEP here. Liberty 7-1 on the road, 12-0 against the Conference USA here. Gonna buy a point. Should be able to dominate UTEP. Give me Liberty minus 16.5 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. Tennessee opening up as a 27-point home favorite with the over/under at 57. Vanderbilt coming into this matchup 2-9. Tennessee 7-4. Head-to-head, Tennessee 6-4 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Yeah, this is a very bad Vanderbilt team. They're on a 9-game losing streak. Really haven't. I mean, they haven't beat anybody in the SEC. It's just been an absolute mess for Vanderbilt. Coming off a 6-point game against South Carolina. Tennessee coming off 2 rough games. Coming off a 10-point game and a 7-point game against Missouri. Their offense has been bad the last 2 games, but nonetheless, they get a meeting with Vanderbilt, who's just absolutely horrible. 0-8 against the SEC. 0-5 covering on the road. Tennessee 14-1 at home. This should be a dominating win for Tennessee. Gonna buy a half a point. Give me Tennessee minus 26.5 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got Washington State versus Washington. Washington opening up as a 15.5-point home favorite with the over/under at 66. Washington State coming into this matchup 5-6. Washington 11-0. Head-to-head, Washington 8-2 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Washington State coming off a big Colorado win, ending their big losing streak they were on. Washington, undefeated, coming off a tough Oregon State win, 22-20. Coming off 2 tough games here, but they got a better matchup against a pretty bad Washington State team that fell apart this season. They're 1-8 against Washington, 1-4 on the road against Washington. Washington 13-0 at home, where they're absolutely dominant here. 6-1 at home against Washington State. Season on the line. Give me Washington minus 15.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Florida State versus Florida. Florida State opening up as a 7-point road favorite with the over/under at 49. Florida State coming into this matchup 11-0. Florida 5-6. Head-to-head, Florida State 6-4 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Obviously, big injury for Florida State. No Jordan Travis, the star quarterback's out. But for Florida, Graham Mertz, their quarterback, the starter all year, is out. So the quarterback who played last game actually played very good in the fill-in spot. Played very well. He'll get the start today. Florida State, obviously undefeated season on the line. But losing Jordan Travis, that definitely hurts. I mean, he's big reason why they're undefeated. So they're going to have the next man up. The backup's not that bad. The backup's pretty decent. If he can just be a game manager, I think Florida State will be fine because they got the defense and the offense run game to support, him not being an elite quarterback. And then Florida on a 4-game losing streak, coming off a tough Missouri loss. But they look good the last 3 weeks. They put up 30-plus points the last 3 weeks. It's a rivalry game here. And, these games usually get crazy between these two. A lot more on the line for Florida State than Florida here. They're 5-1 covering on the road against Florida. 6-0 on the road. I think without Jordan Travis, they're going to find a way. And the better team will come out. I'm going to buy half a point. Give me Florida State minus 6.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Notre Dame versus Stanford. Notre Dame opening up as a 26-point road favorite with the over/under at 49.5. Notre Dame coming into this matchup 8-3. Stanford 3-8. Head-to-head, Notre Dame 2-1 in the last 3 head-to-head meetings. Notre Dame coming off a 45-7 win against Wake Forest. Stanford on a 2-game losing streak, coming off a Cal loss. This is not a good Stanford team. They really do struggle to score. And Notre Dame 4-1 covering on the road against Stanford. I expect them to dominate Stanford here, and give me Notre Dame minus 26 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Georgia opening up as a 24-point road favorite with the over/under at 59.5. Georgia coming into this matchup 11-0. Georgia Tech 6-5. Head-to-head, Georgia 8-2 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. And undefeated, coming off a 38-10 win against Tennessee. They've been dominating. Georgia Tech coming off a Syracuse win, 3-1 in their last 4. Playing pretty well here as of late. But up against Georgia 5-0 against Georgia Tech, 4-1 covering against Georgia Tech. They're 12-0 covering on the road against Georgia Tech here. I just don't think Georgia Tech's going to be able to pull it off here. Georgia should be able to dominate them. Georgia Tech is 0-8 against the SEC as well. So, yeah, give me Georgia minus 24 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Iowa State versus Kansas State. Kansas State opening up as a 10-point home favorite with the over-under at 45. Iowa State coming into this matchup 6-5. Kansas State 8-3. Head-to-head, Kansas State 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Iowa State coming off a 10-point Texas loss. Kansas State on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a 4-point Kansas win. Iowa State 3-12 against Kansas State, 1-8 on the road against Kansas State. They have not played good against Kansas State here. Kansas State 7-0 covering at home, 8-1 at home against Iowa State here. Yeah, I'm going to buy a half a point. Give me Kansas State minus 9.5 and money line at home. Then the last matchup, we got North Carolina versus NC State. North Carolina opening up as a 2.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 55. Both teams coming into this matchup 8-3. Head-to-head, NC State 6-4 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. UNC coming off that tough Clemson loss. NC State, I mean, they're playing very good football here. 8-3, playing great on a 4-game winning streak coming off our Virginia Tech win. UNC, they're 5-0 covering on the road against NC State. 5-1 against NC State covering. So they've been very good against NC State and covering the spread too. I'm going to take the better team here, which I think, and better quarterback. Give me North Carolina minus 2.5 and money line on the road. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.